Well, it is the platform right here on Flow 94.9 FM, the pinnacle of all discussions. A very good morning to you. My name is Chioma Nkwanta. Last time on the platform, we tried to find out the manner of commitment that you would want our lawmakers to secure from President Muhammadu Buhari in case he actually made it to the National Assembly as he promised. As widely speculated, even on the show that day, the presidency buckled. The argument is that the National Assembly lacks the powers to invite the president. That's according to the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami. Let's take you back to how the president actually made the promise to Femi Gbajabiamila, who personally visited him at the villa to inform him of the invitation. So yesterday, the House of Representatives reacted to the failure of the president to honor the invitation. Now, there is also contention on the legality of the invitation. Well, given the argument, we want to explore today further the legality of the invitation and the general implication of the impasse amidst growing insecurity in Nigeria. This is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions right here on Flow 94.9 FM. Soon, you'll be meeting with our guest. Let's take a breather.
94.9 FM. We've got conducive and well-secured environment for business. High-tech video studio, a state-of-the-art production studio. You can also listen live on www.flow949fm.com and watch our videos on YouTube at Flow FM TV. Flow 94.9 FM, not just radio, but a complete broadcasting house.
Well, glad to know you're still there. It is the platform on Flow 94.9 FM, and we are going to be looking at a whole lot concerning the president's supposed visit to the National Assembly. We're going to be looking at the legality of the invitation and the general implication of the impasse amidst growing insecurity in Nigeria. And I have joining me right now via phone Osita Okechukwu, the Director General of Voice of Nigeria. Good morning, sir. It's good to have you join us.
Good morning, Nigeria.
Well, sir, were you surprised that President Buhari actually failed to appear before the National Assembly?
I don't see anything that gives me any surprise because the National Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria yesterday, I do not think yesterday is the last day of sitting. So, Mr. President had the prerogative to be there or to write them due to the invitation you did to me the other time. Please, I'm coming on the other day if it's also convenient to you. So there's nothing like surprise about it.
Okay, so there is no surprise whatsoever.
No, because the good thing that goes for the country is that those the National Assembly that invited Mr. President, they share the same page with Mr. President and all of us. There is no Nigerian that I know, including Mr. President, that is not worried or concerned about the incessant insecurity in the country. So we all share the same page. The members of the National Assembly who represent all of us, they are sufficiently angry over the insecurity situation in the country. And Mr. President himself is also sufficiently angry. And the issue of insecurity became worsened where the Zababari massacre of rice farmers became the metaphor. And Mr. President shows the same anger, the same emotion with them. And for some of us, and those who advised Mr. President not to go yesterday, because he earlier agreed that he would be there. But it was advised that the anger in the land is so high because of the insecurity in the country. Please, get to work and continue to know how you will get the insecurity to abate. On a confident date, you either do what they call the union, what the President Franklin D. Roosevelt did on 6th January 1941 when the World War II was raging. You do a union address or you write back to the National Assembly and tell them you're coming. But the most important thing every Nigerian is hankering for, we're earnestly seeking a quick end. All of us, collectively, we are seeking a quick end to the insecurity in all the parts of the country, either banditry, either armed robbery, kidnapping, insurgents, Boko Haram insurgents, or the like. We're worried. Nobody is at peace. Okay. Nobody is happy over the insecurity in the country as it stands. Anybody that tells you Mr. President is happy about it is not being frank. All we wanted to avoid is that there's some musings and comments coming from the National Assembly. We said if he's thoroughly embarrassed, that will not add any value to abating the insecurity in the country. Those who are today saying, oh, Mr. President did not come, some were not, they're all patriots, but some do not understand that in the midst of the anger, emotion rises very high and might transcend over the rational reasoning of some members of the National Assembly. And we do not need that. We want to collectively save our democracy. We need to save our dear country. We also need to save the institution of both the National Assembly, the institution of the presidency. We don't need to gain anything if Mr. President is embarrassed. Some will be happy if he's embarrassed. Maybe that's we are thrown at him. Some will be happy, but some are not looking at President Muhammadu Buhari per se. We're looking at the institution called the presidency of the country.
All right, sir. Now, you made mention of insecurity and the way it has been going on and on incessantly. Nigerians are also questioning the manner at which the president has actually managed the security situation in Nigeria, especially the retention of the service chiefs. What do you make of that?
To be honest with you, anytime we discuss that with Mr. President will tell you, look, that why he's doing all he could trying to fight poverty is that the growing poverty in the land that germinated over the years is at the core root of the insecurity in all parts of the country. And that just relieving the service chiefs alone do not make much inroad, except what he's trying to do, trying to call to friends of Nigeria, both at home and abroad, to help him in equipment and weaponry and all manner of armaments that will help to contain the insurgents. Because a lot of people forget that the Boko Haram, for instance, some of those Boko Haram insurgents are living with their families. They get out of the house, they eat, and they come back to their houses. Some years are in the Sambisa forest, and most of them are at home. So you don't know who is doing what. It becomes very easy. Any small military movement, they will report back to the Boko Haram that they have moved. They are relocated from one mango tree to the other cashew tree. They have come from this town, they are there. If you go there now, nothing will happen, but go the other way, there's nobody there. And it's a large tract of land in all parts of the country. Everywhere is not like in the East. Even in the East, it's not easy to guide an asymmetrical warfare. The Boko Haram is not like when you're fighting a war, you are where the troops are stationed in Umaya. You go to Okigwe and lay your ambush and you start fighting from Okigwe to Umaya. No, it's not that way. Or the man is in Enugu, you go to Ogo and come from Ogo and make sure you meet him in Enugu. No, somehow will do in Ogo. So that is the differential. It's not been an easy task. Anybody that tells you it's been easy for Mr. President or Mr. President is happy is what's going on, and then nobody, the person not being frank.
So what do you make of the retention of the service chiefs still?
I'm one of those who support that they should go, because the elementary tactics is that if the commander fails, he should be either sacked or redeployed or retired, and you try new hands. I support that. and to do. But it's also at the discretion of Mr. President.
Okay. All right. So since the president has renegated on his decision to appear before the National Assembly, don't you think it is wise for him to fix another date with the National Assembly?
He will do so. Definitely he will do so. I'm sure he will do so. But I'm one of those who supported those who advised him not to attend because the emotion is so high. The emotion is so high. Don't forget that a few days ago, some individuals in that same House of Representatives have moved the emotion that he should be impeached. So the point is that, yes, it could have been good if he's there, if he walked in there. But if he's thoroughly embarrassed, and some of those people who will now start criticizing the same House of Representatives, don't give the institution of the president some respect. But instead of getting into that, let's allow tempo to reel off, no matter how minimal. But the point of the matter, as I said, is that both those who are calling for Mr. President to be there, both those who do not actually wish him well if they had come there, they're all patriots. They're concerned. We're concerned about the insecurity in the country. Mr. President is also concerned. So they're on the same page with Mr. President. The only differential is that those who wanted it, okay, let me assume the position of the president and you assume the position of the House of Reps. Is there anything that he would tell the Nigerian people he didn't talk about before? Nothing. They will ask him what you ask me. Why didn't you remove the service chiefs? And he tells them he will do so or he will not do so. Then there will be a rally session. Is that what Akiba has been there yesterday? Well, he will be there.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for joining us today on the platform.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, we just got off the phone with Osita Okechukwu, the Director General of Voice of Nigeria, and he was discussing further on the legality of the invitation and the general implication of the impasse of President Muhammadu Buhari not appearing before the National Assembly yesterday. This is the platform on Flow 94.9 FM. We will be joined by Barrister Monday Obani, the first Vice President, Nigerian Bar Association, in a very few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
94.9 FM. We've got conducive and well-secured environment for business. High-tech video studio, a state-of-the-art production studio. You can also listen live on www.flow949fm.com and watch our videos on YouTube at Flow FM TV. Flow 94.9 FM, not just radio, but a complete broadcasting house.
Well, thank you for being there. The platform continues right here on Flow 94.9 FM. And I told you initially that we just got off the phone with Osita Okechukwu, the Director General, Voice of Nigeria. Joining us right now on the phone is Barrister Monday Obani, former first Vice President, Nigeria Bar Association. Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. My pleasure for having me.
All right. Well, the issue here is the conflict between the constitutional provisions that make presidential appearance to the National Assembly discretionary, and the other aspects which empowers the lawmakers to invite anybody in an inquiry. So what do you make of the president failing to appear before the National Assembly yesterday?
Thank you. Once again, it's rather unfortunate that the president failed or refused to honor the invitation of the members of the House on the grounds that issue of security is clearly an exclusive matter over which he has no responsibility of sharing with members who are clearly our representatives. I've looked at the submission of the learned Attorney General of the Federation in the person of Mr. Malami, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. I do not share his idea or his sentiment that the President cannot be invited by the members of the National Assembly. He made reference to Section 214, which is actually the section that gives the President the power to put the members of the armed forces into operational use is the one that actually have the power to deploy the members of the armed forces into any of the operational use within the territory of Federal Republic of Nigeria. But in doing that, it must be in accordance with the law. Section 88 and Section 89, which is if you read the combined effect, it says that anything whatsoever that the National Assembly has legislative competence on, any matter they can legislate on, they have a right to invite any person that is in charge of any matter they have legislative competence on. So if they want to investigate, if there is any defect they want to correct in the law, if there is any anomaly, or they want to enact a new law. Now the question you will ask yourself is security a matter that the National Assembly has legislative competence on? And I say yes, they can legislate on the issue of security. Secondly, they have the duty and responsibility of appropriation. That is, every year they actually appropriate funds for security, for Ministry of Defense and all that. So there is nothing stopping them under the combined effect of Section 88 and Section 89 to invite the president of the country in democracy.
So it is legal. It is actually legal to invite the president.
More than legal, because our constitution is peculiar and it has a provision that gives the National Assembly power to invite any person. It did not exclude the president. If the constitution had intended to exclude the president from that particular investigation or inquiry to be done over a matter that they have legislative competence on, it would have said it expressly. And so what is not expressly stated cannot be excluded. The president was never excluded from investigation under Section 88 and Section 89 of the 1999 Constitution. It's important we mention that. And I have looked at the submission of Malami, the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, the Attorney General. I never saw any section of the Constitution where he cited, where it expressly excluded the president from being invited. Because I know that the president has immunity under Section 308, but that is against prosecution or against any criminal trial or against any legal issue. But not that he cannot be actually invited by the representatives of the people to answer questions with regards to a matter that they have legislative competence on.
Okay. All right. So now, looking at the fact that we've established that inviting the president is legal, is there any legal action that the National Assembly can take against the president since he failed to appear before them yesterday?
I won't go to the extreme of suggesting impeachment because actually they have passed several resolutions with regards to the service chiefs, asking the president to change them, and those resolutions were clearly ignored by the president, who says he has the exclusivity in retaining those that he wants to, and he is satisfied with their performance, despite the fact that that man is not in tandem with the expectations of Nigerians. So I think that these are part of the reasons why I think they should devise a more strategic means of addressing the issue of insecurity. Just yesterday, it is reported that 16 indigenes of Kano that were coming back from Abuja were all killed by bandits who shot at the tire of the vehicle with which they were coming back. So virtually everywhere is not safe. Insecurity all over the place. So I think that the National Assembly members must be more strategic in finding this solution. And I'm sure why they had invited the president is to find out what is actually going on. Is he overwhelmed? Is there issue of scarcity of funds to prosecute the issue of insecurity? Is his personnel actually living up to expectation? These are issues that the National Assembly should be interested in, especially in issue of insecurity in the country. And so they wanted this. So if the president now is not snubbing them based upon the fact that they are all playing politics, because the president himself, wholeheartedly accepted that invitation, and it was even reported by Onoche, who happens to be his special advisor, media aide on social media, that the president will address the joint house on a particular day. That was yesterday. Now the president accepted until the APC stalwarts, including the governors, approached him and felt that, why would he honor that invitation? Because they are also afraid that if that president is in late, they will be subjected to some situation by their state house of assembly inviting the governors to appear before them. So they now advise them not to. Before you know it, the legal Attorney General has begun. And then, to me, he never cited any law that actually excluded the president from being invited. So my take is that they should forget about politics. It's about Nigerians. And it is about lives of the country. And if lives are not secure, which is the primary responsibility of governance, then the country itself is clearly a failure. So they should look at more strategic means of actually addressing this issue of insecurity and making sure that they work in collaborative effort with other government to secure lives and properties in the country. That is my advice. I won't go to the extreme of suggesting or go for impeachment and all, because I know that the House is people may not even have the permission to do that.
All right. One more question before you go. It appears like Nigerians really have to beg Mr. President to speak to them at critical times like this. Should it be the case?
It shouldn't. In democracy, you can see, we are imitating the American system. We see Trump talk to the American people virtually all the time, even though he does it sometimes in an excessive manner. We want a president that will engage. I was also thinking that if the president appears before the National Assembly, that is going to be an interactive session in which the president will be able to tell them what efforts he's doing, and they can also ask certain basic questions as to what is going on. Is the president being overwhelmed? Is the security services being overwhelmed? Are there scarcity of funding? Are there more strategic means we can adopt in this fight? These are kind of things we want for a president at this point in time to engage us. We talk to us. That is what democracy demands. We didn't elect a titled traditional ruler who cannot be questioned. We didn't elect a queen, or in Nigeria, we elected a president who has responsibility to the people, who must account to the people, who must talk to the people, who must interact with the people, who must have feelings that we have, who must have our pains that we all share. We must all have that interactive section with the president of the country. So we didn't elect somebody that can, be aloof when there are issues critical, to the safety of the nation. So I don't think that is the proper attitude. It may be his style, because Mr. Femi Adesina said that his style is that it doesn't talk much. He starts with some and other. But I think that in critical times like this, where this issue of insecurity is actually permeating the land, we want somebody that can address us and give us assurances that our lives and property is very critical to me. And I feel that is what the least I can expect from my president.
All right. Thank you so much, Barrister Monday Ubani, former First Vice President, Nigerian Bar Association, for being a part of the program this morning.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Well, it's time for us to open the phone lines right now to get your reactions as regards what we are discussing this morning. Just call us up on 0808-1826-949 or 0811-6052-949. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, baby boo.
Yes, good morning to you.
I remember Mr. Prince Willis from Togo.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Mr. Baby Boo, I love the way the last speaker, a legal luminary, Buhari has spoken. He has actually given us what we wanted. And all that the first scholarship, but my take is on this. The National Assembly must take this as a challenge. They shouldn't take it for granted like what I've been hearing this morning. The National Assembly, they have started playing Mass Friday in favor of the president. They are not speaking for both sides of their mouth. Let them take this challenge thrown by the presidency as a challenge to the nation, not on security issues, not on national matters. But let them take it, because if they leave it, there's a balance in my areas that says if a snake doesn't behave like a snake, children will take it as a rope and tie their firewood. The National Assembly should let themselves to be a rope to be used to tie their firewood. Let them ensure that the Constitution is maintained. The Constitution has given them the prerogative to call anybody, like Ubani has said here. We are not investigating the presidency. We are not investigating the president himself. We are telling him, please, which way are we to use to ensure that the security should be ensured in Nigeria? That is my statement. God bless you.
All right. So you too. Thank you. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
How are you this morning?
Very well, thank you.
My name is Mr. Ike, calling from Omaya.
You're welcome.
Yes, like the last caller said, I also want to join Prince Will to commend the last speaker who has just showcased high-level integrity, fairness in his judgment. That is what this country needs, and not people with biased mindset that are not helping matters.
And the problem of this country regarding the situation we find ourselves today has to do with over-politicking everything. Everything in Nigeria has been politicized. You tell the Nigerian that somebody is hungry to tell it is politics. They want to use it to, to hit the opposition. You tell somebody that somebody is not paid salary or pension or the road is bad or whatever. They will tell it is politics. Opposition is using it. And you are telling somebody that hundreds of people have been killed under the leadership of this APC. They will tell it is politics. PDP want to use it to accuse the president of his incompetency. But the facts are there. It is high time the National Assembly comes out clear, bold, and leave politics out of this, because this is no longer politics. It has to do with life and security, life and protection of individuals in this country, so that this country will not break. So the only thing they should do is to stick to their neck, legally use the constitution and see what they can do to ensure that the president does the right thing. It's not necessarily that he must come to National Assembly for him to do the needful. Let him sack this security head. That has been my position. And put in new heads who can come up with a new theory on how to tackle insecurity in this country. You can see what is happening in the federal roads today. People are afraid to take a lift to their various destinations. Let something be done so that this country will remain warm and peaceful.
Thank you.
Thank you and God bless.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, John.
Please turn down the volume on your radio. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I've done that. My name is Tuwako.
You're welcome.
I want to ask Mr. President, if 70-something farmers that were killed happens to be cows, will he keep quiet without making a statement? It's very wrong. Mr. Buhari, please value the lives of people. If he thinks he can no longer take care of this country, can't he resign? Let us not forget, during Obasanjo, Radio Link was a platform in which Obasanjo was communicating with Nigerians. Do you understand me? If we have a president that cannot be able to talk to his people, I think it is high time for President Muhammadu Buhari to resign. People are dying. Hardship everywhere. The other time he told the Inspector General of Police that, man, I can see the way you're looking very slim. That means you're working hard. He should come down to Southeast and see people that are dying and looking more slimmer than Inspector General of Police. What will he tell them? President Buhari, we are pleading with you. Resign. We are suffering. Thank you.
Thank you. It is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions right here on Flow 94.9 FM. We're looking at the legality of the invitation by the National Assembly to President Muhammadu Buhari. And we had Osita Okechukwu on the program this morning, Director General, Voice of Nigeria. We also had Barrister Monday Ubani, former First Vice President, Nigerian Bar Association. And right now, we are getting your reactions. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. What's your name?
My name is Victor Nduvoka. I'm calling from Ameki.
You're welcome.
Thank you. If we go by the submission of the Attorney General, that the Constitution by the Constitution that the National has no powers to invite the President before them, that means that the Constitution we are using is not supposed to be a Constitution. It's more or less a decree. We have to question the validity of such Constitution, because all over the world, even from America, where we borrowed the presidential system we are operating, we know that there are checks and balances within the Constitution. That's part of the characteristics of the presidential system. And morally, when we look at even in other systems, other democracies, we discover that morally it is right for the president to address his people, the people that elected him into office, to give them good leadership. And these people are represented in the National Assembly, because all of us cannot come at the same time to ask him questions. Like, we elected these people, and it is our right, because power belongs to us, to ask him to address insecurity in Nigeria, because our lives and properties are in jeopardy. So if he chooses not to do that for any reason, it means that he's not competent.
Okay. Thank you.
That is my contribution.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And the last call on the show. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. What's your name?
My name is Augustine Ivares from Umunachobo, Imo State, precisely.
All right. Okay. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Baby Boo.
Good morning to you. What's your name?
I remain Mr. Bright, calling from Itumuza.
All right, go on.
Yes.
Okay, seems we're having a bit of network issues right there. And on that note, I want to say that the last edition of the platform has come to an end. The last edition for the week has actually come to an end. Thank you for being a part of today's edition of the show. Thank you so much to Osita Okechukwu, the Director General, Voice of Nigeria. And thank you too to Barrister Monday Obani, former First Vice President, Nigerian Bar Association. Thank you so much, our producer, Samson Eze. Of course, the platform will return on Monday, same time at 10 a.m. My name is Chioma Nkwanta. Enjoy the rest of your day.